Good morning, everybody. This is Chad, the Golden Finger Picker. And guess what today is? Today is another sales update video. This is 101 items I've sold in the past month. If you guys follow my channel, you're gonna notice that I haven't been doing a lot of haul videos, and I stop and I think about like what would be more productive, what could help more people. Haul videos are awesome. I love watching them. It gives me great ideas and everything else. But I think ultimately what benefits people more is seeing the actual items that have actually sold. Okay, and they can get an idea of what items are selling for currently on eBay. Um, like I said, haul videos are awesome. I love the idea of showing, what we've picked up and stuff. But, in the overall big picture, what you pick up doesn't really matter, I guess. I am not in any way putting down haul videos, not at all. But as far as my channel is concerned, how can we be more proactive when it comes to showing actually, helping when it comes to what's selling. And what we've decided is, to concentrate on these sales update videos to let you guys know the stuff that sells. If you want to see stuff that we actually pick up, we're going to start showing, photos and maybe some small videos, clips and stuff like that on our Facebook channel, which is the Golden Finger Picker and Florida Picking Queen Facebook group. Facebook fan page. I'm sorry. There is a group, but we don't do too much in there. As far as the groups are concerned, we're very, very active in the Reseller Society, and we will show stuff that we've bought and sold, or that we have bought, on that Facebook group. So getting into this month, this is November 8th, and this is pretty much items that sold from October 7th through November 8th, in that area. There's 101 items, and I see right here it says 100 items sold. We've had some success, and people really like this format that we've been doing, although it's long. It's something I guess you can have running while you're working or something like that. But we've heard a lot of people say they don't like long videos, but I think it's to the contrary of that. There's so many people that come to us and say they love the long videos. They're getting good stuff out of it, and they're actually learning from them. So with that being said, I'm all about opening up to new things. And I've been hearing talk and, buzz about creating that realm where the buyer feels they're getting an awesome deal. Hold on a second. My door just got opened. Yeah, creating that effect where the buyer thinks they got just an awesome, awesome deal. So, what I did is I went through my items in my store, and I raised the price by 100%. Okay, so if I've got an item for sale for $50, and when I price my item at $50, it's priced to sell. Okay, and I'll also have a best offer, but I have that large profit margin that I can, play with, even at that $50. But what I did was I went in and doubled my prices on 90% of the items that I had. And I went in, so I put it to $100. And then I went in and put a 60% off sale. Okay, so now we're back down to $40. And so I originally had it at 50. I doubled my price to 100 and then put a 60% off sale, which brings it to $40. I don't know if it really did anything. I don't know. It's just really hard to tell. Some of my older stuff actually did sell, but that's a typical occurrence through the month anyway. So to say it actually worked, I have no idea. My sales didn't do anything special. They didn't like really increase any more than what they normally do. Even, being fourth quarter, we really don't do anything we don't change what we do because it's fourth quarter. So, but just to give you a little, here's a little tip. If you go and do that stuff, because some people's mindset, and I actually did it at first, whenever you go to adjust everything in bulk, it says raise your stuff by a percentage. I don't know why I thought it, but if you hit raise everything by 50% and then you put that 60% sale on it or 50% sale on it, it doesn't equal out. I mean, you're really selling it pretty cheap. So go in and raise it 100%. Okay. For some reason, I don't know, that 50% is the first thing you think of when you're wanting to double. I don't know why I thought that, and some other people think that too. And so just make sure if you're going to do that, go in and up your price by 100%, and then you can go through and put your sale on. So, okay, we'll get into this, and this is going to take a while. I mean, everybody that watches my sales update videos that I've been doing, it is what it is. Feel free to, watch a little bit, check it out, a little bit at a time, or sit and watch it all. Totally up to you. We understand if you're not a long video watcher, but this is just a format that we felt was best for us and everybody else. So we've taken a lot of comments and opinions on this. So and most of this stuff, guys, is the bread and butter stuff that we're always talking about. We shop at thrift stores, yard sales, estate sales, flea markets, stuff like that, and we get the stuff really, really cheap. And you're going to see on these, like you see, this was at $55.24. This is one of those items to where I raised the price, by so much. And then, as you can see here, it says 65% off. And I sold it for $20, which is a typical price for this particular thing. So, all in all, did it make much of a difference? No. I think the rate, the going rate is the going rate. And that's just my opinion. So, but we did do it. I tried it, and it didn't hinder my sales, and I don't really think it helped my sales. So, but just wanted to, throw that out there. And I have this stuff over here to let you know exactly what we paid for it and stuff like that. What we sold it for, I'm sorry. We've had this particular thing for a while, and it's just one of those heart rate monitor watch things. It's a cheaper one. But, for $1, you can't go wrong. And we ended up selling this for $19.35 shipped. This is a part of that reel-to-reel player that, if you follow the channel, you're aware of. I parted it out, and I'm sold literally everything out of it for a really nice profit. It has been really, really good for us. And I got $36.98 shipped for this. These came with one of the actual, the winder, and it also came with a complete set of the alphabet, which I had already sold that before. And this was just another little set of the dies, and I split it up. The actual machine itself had a broken gear in it. I tossed it because, it was so cheap. It was only a couple bucks for the whole big, huge thing. And that sold for $14.50. Some of these, I don't understand how some of them are coming up at what I actually paid. Some of them have lines through it, like I took a best offer, but that's actually what they paid. And some of it has the line through it of what I was asking, and they paid less. So I'm not too sure with how eBay is doing this sold stuff. Here's another thing on those speakers, on those big Infinity Kappa 9s. Let me go to my second page here where I have these that I sold. These are the actual crossover controls, which were an awesome. I tore them totally down. And here's the actual speakers that I had bought for $20 out of a storage unit. Paid $20, and these are the actual crossovers down at the bottom. These are the Kappa 9s. Let's see here real quick, and I will tell you what we got exactly for these. Okay, I actually got $212.50 shipped for these. And I mean, it's... Oh, was this just one of them? Or was it the pair? Hold on a second. I can't remember. I mean, there were so many parts to this, and I sold it all out. This is a set of 2. Okay, yeah, this was the set of 2. But I'm telling you, for $20, just in this particular component of the speaker, you know, $212. Yeah, I can't complain. Here were some old, the older military desert combat boots. I got $34.68 for them. We got a bunch of this stuff, $1 a pair for these boots. And I still have a ton of them, the military boots out in the garage I have not listed. So, very good item. A lot of hunters like using old military boots. And just people like, a lot of vets like to continue to wear the military boots. Plus, active members, you know, want to get a better deal on some of the better stuff. Here's a step-down transformer. Got it for a few bucks, and it was a pretty quick sale. Had these for a while, and I was really disappointed. I mean, I only paid like $1 a piece for them, maybe $2 a piece, and but they just were slow sellers. I really wasn't too sure why. But yeah, I mean, it was still really good money. I mean, $32.50 plus 15 shipping. I love this. I love this. This is actually the third one that I've found and sold. There's just something about these 80s, 90s teenage games that that a lot of these, you know, my age now, they want these again. I don't know. It's really neat to find these things, especially if they work and they're in good condition. But what's really important is you do not want to oversell stuff like this. This game right here, in better condition, can go for $100. Okay, but there was, you know, the box had been taped up, you know. As you can see what I did, you know, and I'm known for doing this on the cards. You know, I will vacuum seal them, or not vacuum, but I will shrink wrap them, and, you know, and you can still see the wear on them. I don't make it out to be more than what it is. You know, I tell them that the stuff has been sealed up, and you just need to be honest. Don't oversell on stuff like this, guys, or it's going to burn you, even if it's really, really cool. I could have gotten more money if I would have like really pumped it up to say, you know, this thing is, you know, like new, when it's not. So just be honest in your listings. I've had this for a while. I ended up taking 40, let me see here real quick. Yeah, I got $52.51 shipped for this. So I took $38.24, you know, from my $44.99 price tag. It's a really rare, not really any purpose for it other than nostalgic. I mean, this would not be used today, but this is one of the very first like remote control uh, entering systems, and it's just a really neat piece that I really like dealing with. So, and it was fun setting it up and checking it out and everything up. Here's another set of those speakers from that big huge set, and I got $78.62 shipped for this these sets. And what I do, guys, on my speakers and stuff, I'll go through and do a impedance test on them. That lets the buyer know when you do something like this and you show on each speaker that, because when you have it show up on your, that means the winding, the little wire windings inside the speakers aren't blown. You know, like an element in a light bulb. When it blows, it breaks. Well, on a lot of speakers like that, you have those windings, and if you blow the speakers, then those windings will break, and they need to be. And what this does is it shows them that the speakers aren't blown. It shows them that there's a complete circuit, and that really helps to let them know that, hey, you know, these aren't just blown speakers that somebody's trying to make some money on. So. And here's another one. I got $75 shipped just for this one speaker. And once again, you know, I showed, you know, the impedance test on it. And if you guys want to know about that, you can go to YouTube. You can do a search, how to check, you know, speakers. You know, how to test speakers. And you can learn how to do this. It takes 30 seconds to do that and take a picture of it to let your buyer know that what they're getting isn't a piece of junk, scrap, you know. And I tell them that it's a very nice speaker. It tested at 4.8 ohms. It came from a working pair of Kappa 9 speakers, you know. So, okay, is just craziness. This is like a 50-cent purchase. And a lot of people, you know, come across this stuff at yard sales, and it just, you know, they're like, stupid, cheap Hong Kong toys. Well, if you look into it, guys, Hong Kong toys aren't made anymore. You know, stuff isn't marked Hong Kong, okay? And stuff isn't really marked Singapore either. All these are, that means they've got age to them. They're older toys. They're the cheap plastic toys. And as you can see here, the 20250, that's where I doubled my price, and then I put a sale on it. But it's not even showing that it was on sale, which is just strange. But I ended up selling these for $53.99. You know, don't think just because, you know, it looks like the cheap little stuff that that's what it is. I mean, let's see here, get a couple of these up close. I mean, it's really, you know, they're just worn old, just kids toys, the plastic kids toys, but they're worth some money. So it was worth the purchase. Absolutely. The low voltage, the timers, the power supplies for the lights that go around outside, you know, your house, those things sell well. They've always done really well for us. And down here in Florida, where everybody has this stuff, we find them all the time. But it is important to plug them in, because a lot of times they'll burn out and people will replace them. They won't throw them away. They'll donate them. Don't know why, but you plug them in. You stick your ohm meter, you know, up to the and just test the output. And it's that simple. And they always bring really good money. This particular one, I got $42.40 shipped. This was another one of those items that, you know, I priced up and then put a sale on it, 50% off sale. Here's two more of the speakers that came out of that speaker system. And once again, I'm showing that they were tested, and the last ones were 4.2 ohms, and these actually tested out at 4.3. These particular ones I've got $74.92 out of. Once again, it shows, the 208 because I doubled my price. I don't want anybody to misunderstand when they're seeing this $208 and he took $52 or $74 for these. 208 is well above the going rate, guys. It was just that thing I tried, that people are talking about. I'm not beyond trying new things. So that's just one of those things. Okay. We always do really well with Doc Martens. Picked these up, sold them really, really fast. I think it's really important to show, everything on the boots. Your soles. Let's see, what did we sell these for? We got $34.89 out of these. These aren't the higher brands. One thing, a lot of things you want to look at. These, and yeah, those were made in England, but they aren't a really high demanded item. I think Kim got these for $4, I believe, and turn them into $34.89 within a couple days. So the XM satellite extension cords, guys, if you have the boombox, I have one here. I'm able to set it in my window. I listen to my 80s music on XM radio. A lot of times people don't have that and they need this extension cord for the antenna. And they will pay good money. These things are not cheap at all. I picked this up in a huge lot of XM radio stuff. There was a portable receiver, you can run, and I already sold that stuff a long time ago, but this was worth enough to sell it separate. It was used 1 month in their house, and they upgraded to some other type of antenna to where they didn't have to have this extension. So, and I took $26.50 on this. And that was just for an antenna extension. Okay, the little JVC speakers. They're nothing special. I got these with a set of Sony speakers for, I think, $7. And we got $34 shipped out of them. Here's some more of the speakers, guys, from the big set. As you can see, each one of these speakers had 2 of these big speakers. These aren't blown speakers, but the cone, they need reconed. So these things are $300 a piece, reconed. And once again I showed I did checks on them, and I sold them for parts or reconing, and I showed that they were not blown. So another great, and that was for one speaker, and I took I got $142 shipped out of the set, out of the one speaker. And then let's see, is the next one show? Here's the other set out of the other speaker that I got $142 shipped. Yeah, I took $120. See, it says it's crossed out, but I actually took $120. So not too sure why it shows up like that. And those checked out. So yeah, any guys, just because you see speakers, they look really nasty or not, these didn't look really bad. But when you come across, old vintage speakers, take a couple seconds and look that model up. If the speaker cabinets look like crap, but if you see that they sell for a lot of money, good chances that the actual speakers and the crossovers, the connectors, at the bottom, all that stuff could really sell really well if you just take the speakers out. So, great Harman Kardon. I love Harman Kardon. It's a good quality receiver. And 225 was blown, blown out of proportion. I think I got 115 shipped on these, and but yeah, great receiver. It's one of them Insane Clown Posse shirts, and this is another. I blew the price up, doubled the price, and then put it on sale. I need to go back to the next. I've got my what I'm selling stuff for, because I want to be honest with you guys. I want to, I could say, yeah, this sold for $44.98. See, you see it right there. But you know something? It doesn't do anybody any good, except for me. If I want to, like inflate, things or blow things out of proportion, make something that it's not. And I'm totally against that. And I believe if you're going to, come on here and, show people, give examples, then they need to be honest examples. Actually, on this shirt, I took $16.19 on it. It was free shipping. I got, I think, $2 a piece, and I got a bunch of these Insane Clown Posse shirts. They're not selling as fast as I thought they would for being 3XL, but, it's just one of those things. You don't really have anything in them, and it's bread and butter, literally what it comes down to. I picked this up for $15 at a yard sale, and it was in, like, new condition. I mean, it was perfect. I didn't really have to do anything to it. The bristles were like super clean. Everything was just really, really clean on this item. The filters and everything. And I put it at seller refurbished, because whenever something is seller refurbished, that means the seller either took it apart, cleaned it, got it to, back into working condition and stuff like that. And, I think it falls under that. So I ended up taking $64.77 shipped for that. Just a good quick flip. These Jammo, and I still have the big tall speakers for these out in the garage. And this is another case of where I doubled the price and then put the sale on. I ended up getting $88.50 for these two little speakers, which Jammo's a really good high-end brand. I don't know. I paid $20 or $15, I believe, for the entire set. And I've got the big, tall speakers out in the garage that I haven't done anything with, because I haven't really decided, what platform I'm going to put those on. So, oh, guys, I tell you what, these vintage watches, and people are going to get upset that I even bring this up, but when you go to garage sales and you see these, these like buckets that are just full of watches and stuff like that, go through them. Oh my gosh, go through them, because I tell you what, these Seikos, vintage Seiko watches, are just amazing. And this particular one is really nice. What I had, I got all these watches for a couple bucks a piece, and it was just craziness. I cleaned them up. I even took some of them into the jeweler to get a professional clean done on them, like this one right here. Here, I'll show it to you. I had already listed this one. This is my favorite one out of this lot. I got all these Seiko watches, and I took this one in to have them do a cleaning, an exterior buffing on it. And I have it listed now, but I have not redone the photos. And this is the old digital. I mean, this thing is, this is like a 1976, I believe. And I mean, it is just beautiful. I mean, they shined it up, and I don't think there's any out there in this condition. It is just really, really nice. So, but yeah, and they didn't charge me anything. I came back to pick it up. I said, what's the charge? They were like, no, no charge. Because they want your business for stuff like this. They see that, I brought in another watch to have them take the back off so I can take some pictures of the kinetic movement on it. And which I'll show you that watch here soon. But, yeah, they want your business, and little things like that that they can do for you that'll really make your items stand out. It's worth it. Here's another one of those wireless dongles. This is the bread and butter, guys. This is the stuff that people talk about. It's a quick a dollar pickup, and sell it for 20. Yeah, they're selling for 30. You can sell them for $30, but I mean, I list this for $20 and it's like gone. It's like bam, that quick. So okay. Oh shoot, I just screwed up. Okay. I put it on the wrong one. These old Tama drum bass kickers. It's missing a part. I actually ordered that part to connect that. It's just like a bracket that you screw in, but it was the wrong one, so I ended up saying screw it, I'm just gonna list it and sell them. I only took $63 for these, but they're older. Now if you see the two that are hanging down, the actual piece that goes between that connects the two sells for like $80, and it wasn't on there. So it's just one of those things you learn when you're researching this stuff, and to learn more about it. So yeah, if it had that on there, I would be asking quite a bit more money. The old Fishers, these things are just cool. There's not a lot of them out there, and a lot of times people, when they hear the term Fisher, it's like low quality. Not necessarily true. A lot of folks really like these. I like Fisher, the older Fisher. If you get into like the 80s, the Fishers, that stuff can be pretty cheap stuff. A lot of these older companies dropped their standards, and they went cheaper. They were selling a lot more stuff, but it was cheaper. This came off of a Filter Queen that I had out in the garage that I bought for $6 at an estate sale. And the Filter Queen itself was pretty rusty and stuff like that. But, the attachments, that's why I bought it. It's like, I could, if I start the Filter Queen up and it runs smooth, I can pull the motor out of it and sell that for really good money, but it's still sitting out there. But I did list this stuff, and they sold like really quick. And here's another one of those speakers. And this one was for parts only because I did the test, okay? As you guys see here, that means it did not register. There's a broken connection in there. So I actually sold that 4 parts. And let's see what I sold that for. 4 parts only. I took $35 on it. I think it's really important. And because I showed that, my price was after this big blow up of 180, and then I put my sale on, the actual price was realistic. They were still willing to buy it because they knew what they were buying, and it had a dent in the cone. The other one you saw sold for $75 or $80, and this one only sold for $35. So it just goes to show, if you show them, they see what the issue is, and maybe they can do something with it. Really cool. Typewriter. Ended up getting 9609 out of this. So these old typewriters, if they're in really good condition, they're worth picking up. Had these for a while. I mean, these came out of a bank. They're just the security cameras, and I got these in a pretty big lot, and I had already sold off all the other cameras, and this is what was left. I had way more than made my money back, and I got $72.98 shipped for these. The Lego Bionicles. These are the smaller ones, and listed them, let people know that they did not have the manuals, no manuals. I mean, it's really important, guys. Like if somebody looks at these on eBay and they see these like this, unless you say it, they expect to get the manuals, okay? They expect to get the manuals. So, because like if you look at this gives the impression like, hey, these are complete. They look nice. They're very, you know, if you don't have the manuals for them, make sure you state no manuals. Now, these weren't ones that I was looking to really print out because it didn't really affect the price much. But yeah, I got let's see, I got 50. That's actually what they paid, $47.50, and I got $57.28 shipped. Kim got these for I believe $3 to $5 at one of our thrift shops. That they have a warehouse and they had bags of stuff that they hadn't really gone through yet, and so she was digging through the bags and she found these. And when she went up and asked, well, how much are these? They're like, I'm not sure. She says, well, typically your boots back there are $3 to $5. And they're like, well, how about $5? And she says, okay. So I believe it was $5. Now, if they would have taken the time to look these up and stuff, they would have seen that, yeah. But we ended up getting $89.78 shipped for these. Really nice boots. Ulu. Didn't really know anything about them. Contacted Ronnie. Ronnie says, yeah, they sell for really decent money. This was an awesome find. This is that radio, that boombox that I found at a garage sale, and it had, hold on, I think I still have it. Yeah, it's just one of these things I'm going to keep. This says radio free. I cannot locate the power cord for this. Perhaps you have one. Okay. Yeah, it was one of them power cords that you can find at the dollars or at any thrift store. It's the 8. It's just got the 2 plugs in it, and it was free. And when I looked this up, I about fell out of my chair. It's like unbelievable. I got $175 for it. That's actually what they paid with I got $200 shipped. It went to Russia through the global shipping program. Packed it great. Very nice item. Got a return notification on it. And he sent pictures, and this thing was destroyed. It was so sad. I mean, for me, it was more sad to see this thing destroyed because you just can't find these anymore. This particular make and model. And if you do, you're going to pay up for them. But, global shipping, they took care of it. They reimbursed him his money. I got my money and everything else. So, I am a pro global shipping, because if I would have sent this to Russia myself and this would have happened, I would have been out the item and out the money. So, yeah, I like global shipping, and it's reasons like this. If you're selling higher end items, overseas, if you don't do global shipping, then, it's on you. You're responsible for it until it hits their door. And, global shipping got it. It was in great condition. It was packed very well. And what they did with it after, I have no idea. So, but ultimately, I got my money. Picked these up for 50 cents at a thrift shop. And, a lot of things people just pass up. But this is one of those thicker boxes. It's got like 22.50. It was open. So what I did is I went in and counted the sheets. Okay. And then multiplied it by however many sheets is on each one. But it ended up at 1,950 actual labels. And I put that in my listing. I said it's open and 10 sheets have been taken out. And it's still sold. So, I mean, passing up stuff like this, it's just, I don't know. A lot of people would. They just like don't even think about it. Wouldn't even take the time to look at it. I know labels are expensive, especially if you buy them, retail. Awesome stuff, guys. This under the counter stuff, I just love it. Um, you know, oh, who was it? Black and Decker's the original space maker, but Sony and everybody else followed their lead and made stuff that could be mounted under your cabinet. And this is what I do with my stuff, guys. Um, Printed the label out, and I bagged up the mounting hardware. It just gives it a better presence. Here's another part of that reel-to-reel player. People are continually just buying this stuff. Something goes out on theirs, and I ended up taking $18 for this. It's just a little component. It took 30 seconds to snip out of the unit, and it's money in your pocket, especially after you've made your money 50 times over on everything else. It's just there. Got a really large lot of these lures. Most of the stuff I find down here in Florida are the saltwater lures, and they're in demand. I mean, people really like them. I've always done really well with any type of lures. I paid $700 for a large lot of deep saltwater fishing lures. I don't know if you guys remember that stuff, but some of these lures were 15 inches long. They were the trolling lures. They were this big around for the big marlins and the sharks and stuff like that. And I was selling some of them for over $100 a piece. So eh, fishing and eBay, there is money to be made in stuff like that. But you kind of need to educate yourself on this stuff. Always super, super quick sellers, guys. If you come across these things in garage sales, I've never found these anywhere but garage sales. Um, this is what you can, if you have a wireless garage door opener, and you can set this outside your garage door and program it to just like you would program a regular remote, program it to your garage door opener. These are like universal. And you can sit outside and punch the code in, and then your garage door will go up. You don't have to get in your car, hit the button, to open the garage door. I have one on my house, and I get these things, and I just, they are such fast sellers. These things are, I don't know, I put them right up there with, dongles for the wireless guitar heroes. I mean, these things always really sell quick in any type of garage door opener remote. I tell you what, I've had to go and buy one because for some reason Logan lost one out of the car. And you pay up for them. There's good money in garage door opener remotes, plus these actual keypad stations outside your garage. How many times have you passed up these guys? I mean, really, think about it. They're there. Had this thing for ages. I'm talking a year. And the reason why is because of this. G Gear. Low end, but this is a scuba company. They make scuba diving equipment and stuff like that. And if you don't know that all those flags are scuba, diving flags. But it really has a great look, bright yellow, and it did end up selling. But this is probably what caused it to not sell for a very good amount. As you see in my title, I did not even use the maker in the title, but it sold finally. As you can see, that's my old house, and we've lived here for dang near a year. So if that tells you anything. But for that, yeah, I got $34.34 shipped for that. I mean, I thought it was a cool looking jacket. Here's another set of this is the other set of Sony speakers that I got with the JVCs, I believe, for like $6. And I got $60 shipped for these. Big tabletop books. very little money in them, and they actually went to a fellow reseller. I'm not sure what they're going to do with them, but I got $20 shipped for them, sent them media mail, or maybe it was priority. I think this is the thing where the priority was actually cheaper than the media mail for these heavy books. Media mail, guys, is just not what we think it is anymore, I believe. It's just not as cheap as what it used to be. And you need to educate yourself on media mail, because anything that has any type of advertisement is not allowed in media mail. So, you know, the video games and stuff like that, don't think you're going to send it through media mail. I ended up selling the TriStar vacuum, got $64.99 for it. It's a canister vacuum. I had already sold the power nozzle for it, you know, a little while back. And I think we got this for $4 for everything. I think it was in a haul video. So TriStar is a name to watch out for. The good old Omnivision VCR. Have no clue why people buy this stuff, but we got $43 shipped for it. Oh, this is one where Kim, I made fun of Kim on this, because we were in a thrift store and she walked right past these, and I said, have you hit all this stuff? And she's like, yeah. And I looked and I saw them. I'm like, what? You passed these up? And she's like, well, I didn't notice those. So yeah, I don't want to bust on her too hard, because Kim finds really good stuff, and it's kind of a going thing. We bust on each other. But yeah, I ended up selling these for $187.50, and I believe they were $8 at the thrift store. So yeah, guys, Danner, if you can get brand new. And what was really good about these is these are still being made. They're new. They're on the market, even on their website. So, and I believe they're going for $300 and almost $400. But yeah, Danner boots, guys, are top of the line when it comes to a lot. So keep your eye out for that stuff. Even used Danner boots sell really, really well. Pick these up for, I think, 25 cents a box, guys. And you're going to see we had several different ones. They're like samples, 25 pack samples. And like this. Okay. And they were at a garage sale, and they sold really fast, really fast. Folks had these. We got $24 for this, but they were selling for 30, 28 to 35, you know, in that area. We're like, we're putting ours at 24, and we blew them out, and everybody else's is still sitting there. It's really kind of funny. You know, people, you know, like, you're leaving money on the table. It's like, well, if I had to price mine up there where theirs is, if I'm, you know, right there along with them, then I would still be having them. But I've already got that money, and I'm, you know, already spent it on something else and sold that, made money on that. I mean, it's just if you don't know what I'm talking about, go watch my quick flip business plan video. Pick this up from a fellow reseller, Dusty, and I got $285 shipped for it. Awesome item. It's a home traction device. But be careful, guys, with this medical stuff. Make sure you can sell it on eBay. Okay. I got a bunch of these. I got the regular camo. I've got the digital camo. I've got the desert camo ones. And believe it or not, guys, these sell really well. I got $40 shipped for this. And I was happy with it, because garage sale, it was a church. On this particular one, it's a churchyard sale for $1. And, you know, really good. And this is a field jacket, a cold weather field jacket. Good old ink. I tell you. Can't sell this stuff on Amazon, guys, but eBay, you still get good money on it. So, let's see. What did I take for this? $28 is what I took. And for 50 cents, 25 to 50 cents, I mean, it's a no-brainer. Here's another one. See, as you can see, we sold out. We had 3 of this particular one and sold out. I mean, it's just really kind of funny. some things that people would just absolutely pass up. You know, at a garage sale, it's like, huh? Because having Kim, who likes the higher end stuff, um, you know, see stuff like this, and she's like, ooh, this is good stuff. So, yeah, I mean, it's good to have somebody that's knowledgeable in that area. So, yeah, got these crickets, and this one sold. This is the breast cancer edition one, and we got 160 for this. And I think for the two machines, I think because we bought two of them, I'm trying to think the exact price because I had to go back to the lady and she gave me some other stuff because we got it in a bundle of stuff, something that I still have listed. I think we got $100 for all of it, and I've got one thing that's listed for $299 or something. So I mean, it was a really good purchase. But this is the Cricut. This is like the vinyl cutting and stuff like that. So this is a really cool item, vintage, old. This gun, if you guys don't know what you do with this thing, supposedly, if you stick it on a record, you know, an album record, and you click the button, it takes the static out of it. So, not totally sure if it works, you know, but this is an old system, and it was in excellent condition. When I got it, I bought this off of Dusty for a fair price. And when I got it, it had tape residue and everything all over it. But no, you know, you guys know me, man. I took the time and I cleaned it up, and I mean, it looked really nice. And I got $85 for it plus the $7 shipping. This was just a couple bucks at a yard sale, and I ended up selling this for $58.78. And there's pieces missing on it. It's missing some towers. It's missing some parts to the stairs. You know, it's the second story. It's missing a door. But this Disney stuff, guys, if it's the right stuff, then it's going to sell. This is the Magic Kingdom, and I believe this was sold as a souvenir in Disney. So I think that's why it's kind of maintained its value. I picked two of these up for $4 a piece at the thrift shop and sold them both. Got, I believe, $50, $63.50 shipped on this one. And yeah, they're just knee braces. You see them all the time at thrift stores, guys. All the time. Here's another vintage electronic that I love. As you can see, guys, when I take pictures of my vintage electronics, I have these things fired up and running so they see that they're not blown. That's the first thing you want to see. They're not dead. They're not going to get this thing, you know, and it be DOA, dead on arrival. And it shows that, you know, the stuff is tested. You know, I show that there's actually stuff, if you can see the equalizer buttons, I mean, you see that it's working. So, yeah, it's just little things that I do to try to make sure that that customer can tell, yeah, this is a good product. Bunch of motherboards, picked them up, and they were pulled from units. It was a military upgrade, and pulled a bunch of them out and put them in. And if you can get stuff like that from knowing where they came from and why they were pulled, it wasn't pulled because it was broken and you know, and replaced, and it was just thrown back in a box. If you're aware of the, you know, like a company and they did an upgrade, it's just one of those, if you know the history of it, that will really help you. And when you get them so cheap and you have so many, you can sell them pretty cheap and make a ton of money off of them. Kim found these cow shoes. Is what I call them, cow shoes. But it's a Sanita, and it is a division of Dansko. And Dansko is a high-end, like, nursing shoe clog. But if you come across Sanita, they don't sell for near as much as the Danskos, but they still do have a very nice look and a demand for them. So we got $33.87 shipped for these. Here's that other Seiko. It's the Bellomatic. This guy, what I did, if you guys can learn this, on the actual face itself, I've got I use 1500 grit sandpaper on these, okay, on the faces, 1500 grit sandpaper, and it'll get cloudy, and then you take the, let me grab it. Always a learning experience with me, guys. I know this sounds unorthodox, but trust me, you can see this picture how clear it is. But I take the 1500 grit sandpaper, okay? It's very, very fine. And, you know, I do it to where it's cloudy, and then I use the Neverdull. And if you look at it, it's like a cottony type stuff, and you just go over it, and it polishes it, and it looks super, super clear. Sometimes you can't get the deep scratches out, but you wouldn't be able to anyway. So, but it really does make it a lot better. And you can do that for your headlights on your cars, you know, as well. So, but this was a beautiful, beautiful watch. A high demand watch. I actually took it to the jeweler, had him take off the back, and I mean, this thing was absolutely stunning inside, and the customer was super happy. This thing is just the weirdest thing. This was in that auction, in the storage shed that I bought those speakers in. I wasn't too sure what it was. It was leopard or something, but what I ended up finding out is it is an actual cowhide that is dyed to look like a leopard. And that's cool and all. I think I paid $5 for it. But what I'm finding out is these things are worth some bucks. So, and this is an older one. They're selling these today, brand new, like this, and getting a couple hundred, few $100s out of them. But this particular one, I ended up selling for $105. So, yeah, I mean, it was just intriguing enough for me to ask, you know, what do you want for it? And, you know, and then at $5, yeah, I'm all over it. So, and I think it was $5. I mean, it was way down there, guys. I mean, so. And here's the other cricket that I sold. So I got this in a lot at a garage sale. Yeah, really good stuff, guys. If you want to make your own labels and stuff, talk to Jeff Davidson. Well, he may not tell you how to do it because he does that for a living, so. And here's the other one I sold of the leg brace, because I had two of them. Got a ton of these. I've actually sold more than one of these. It's showing one sold, but it's been relisted. But yeah, I've had a ton of these, and I've sold quite a few of them. These came from a liquor, or a company representative, like a promotion type thing. They've got really great graphics, and this is a women's shirt, and I've sold quite a few of them over the past. Live and learn, folks. Live and learn, live and learn, live and learn. I am not a huge gamer. I don't know a lot about the consoles. This was at a garage sale. They wanted $50 for the unit. It had some games. It also had a bunch of Lego minifigures. And I said, will you put it all together? And I got it home, plugged it in, turned it on, and it just would flash red. So I'm like, damn it. Why can't I follow my own advice and check it, you know, right there? But yeah, this was a bad buy for me. I did get my money back. What did I sell this for? I sold this for $58 shipped, and I believe I paid $40 for all of it. The little Star Wars Lego minifigures, which those, you know, I'll make money on it. But yeah, it ultimately will be a profitable purchase. But yeah, nothing like what I'm used to. And I screwed up. It was a bad buy, and it was just a bad buy. We're going to leave it at that. More ink. I had two of these. Got really good money. I mean, ink and eBay goes together, folks. Here's some more of those that we sold. Kim found this, I think she may have paid $6, maybe even less than that, maybe $3. Not totally sure. Maybe it was $3, but it was the same type of system. It was in the out in a warehouse that they let us go through before they priced the stuff. Same with those boots, and I believe it was in the same actual bag, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, the Lamb Gwen Stefani, we actually sold this for $98, and they're desired, and this was in just beautiful, excellent condition. So yeah, Kim comes through again. Yeah, speaking of Kim, I was outside in the car. She was in the thrift store. I come walking in, and she was already in the back. She'd passed the clothing, and I said, "Have you already gone through clothing?" She says, "Yes." I turned around and I said, "Well, okay, I'm gonna go wait in the car." I was walking out, and there was a rack of the sweaters and stuff. I mean, this thing jumped out at me. I don't know how it didn't jump out at her, but I'm familiar with it. And I mean, this and Robert Graham, I mean, it's like it just jumps out. You can see it from a mile away. And I picked it up and I turned around and looked at her and held it up. I said, "Honey, I thought you already went through this." She goes, "Well, I haven't checked that rack yet." You know, and our bantering, it's just the way it is. But yeah, we got it. And really good sale. $135 is what we got for it. I believe it was $325 or $2 something at that thrift store. So yeah, Kim did an awesome job passing this one up, but I found it, so yeah, I'll take the credit. The good old flip clocks, guys. Not all of them are super awesome and super great and sell for a ton of money. The old Back to the Future flip clock, big money. And I have sold one of those, but this is just a typical flip clock. If you don't, and it's kind of a rare name, kind of a one you don't see very often. There's not much information out there, but yeah, anytime you come across a flip clock, guys, look into it. It's just one of those things that they generally have decent value. People just like them. It's that retro, and when you see one, it's got age to it. They don't make them nowadays. Let's see what I ended up. Oops, what did I end up getting for this over here? Oops, daggone it. Sorry. I hate to be. But today, after this 2 o'clock today, there's no Pickers Church, but I'm going to do a live hangout and talk about the realities of selling on eBay, okay? I think it's going to be a really good conversation, and where is this clock at? Oh, goodness. I can't find it in my sold, guys. I mean, it is sold. I did sell it. $40 maybe? I'm not sure why I'm not finding it in my list. Because here's the Coogee sweater. Oh, there it is. $33.75. That's what I got for it, guys. $33.75. Okay, move on. This came with the set of the wireless camera system that I got with the actual receiver and the DVR type thing. And I split it all up, and this was one of the items that I split up, and I ended up selling this for $19.44. And once again, remember, I doubled the price and then put the sale on. So the reason why it's showing such a high price, and I'm saying I took $19, is the $54 is inflated, okay? And that was that thing that I tried to do. Filter Queen, this is the other part, along with the that I got the rusty one. Well, this is the hose that went to it, as well as those accessories that I showed earlier. This thing actually sold for $63.72. So this is what I talk about, parting stuff out. Is it, and I've got an actual Filter Queen listed right now for $100.05, and it has all this stuff with the thing. So, as you can see here, I'm making more money by parting the parts out, not tearing the thing apart or anything like, just literally separating the parts. And there's just money in doing that. Here's an old holster that I've had. I ended up getting $53.53 for this. I got this with a ton of other holsters that have already sold, vintage holsters. The Alfonso's, I mean, it's a rare one. So I was glad to finally see that find a new home. Picked a bunch of this stuff up from Adam. We made a pretty big deal, a pretty big trade. I got a lot of stuff off of him for a lot of stuff off of me that we were each familiar with selling. And, you know, I sold these. I had 2 pair of them, and the same person bought both pair. So it was a win-win-win. These are really cool. Got these at a yard sale for $5. And they worked great. You know, it's a good brand. Yeah, and I did get $50 for these with $5 shipping. The old Sony Dream Machines, guys, never go wrong with them. They may sit for a little bit, but, you know, they're always really good money. I got $21.58 for them. Pay $1 a piece. Can't go wrong. Whew. Okay, here's the... Okay, I got $25 for this. This is a pretty this was a cheaper, this is probably the cheapest speaker in the set of the big Kappa 9s. This is the cheapest speaker in that set when it comes to, you know, resale and stuff like that, but it did check out, but the dome was just busted all to hell on it. So it takes a little bit more to dome these than it does to cone a regular one, from my understanding. So I took $25 on this. You know, $20 for HP. Pick this stuff up all the time. It's really important that you put that it expired, which, you know, I did. Kim got these books for, I believe, $1.25 a piece. She got 28 of them. They actually sold pretty fast. This was the Nancy Drew set from the 60s, and I think it's just really good to take a lot of pictures, as many pictures as you can, you know, to show the quality, the condition of the books. As you can see here, they're just in really good shape, and they sold really quick for $95. Just a transcriber foot pedal sold really fast for $19 or $20 plus $4 shipping. Got $150 for this GoPro. I picked it up for $30 at a yard sale, and I was thinking about using it, but you know something, like I said, we're not getting really the haul type stuff. I mean, it's fun to do, it really is. But, you know, ultimately, I just kind of changed my mind, because I knew if I bought this, it would still be worth money if I didn't decide to use it. So it sold really fast, like within a day or two, for the $150 plus $13.25. And here's another one that sold of those. The little Kim light sticks, these things, you know, we opened up some, we did tests with them just to let people know, because these things do expire, and but we did take a sampling and showed pictures and stuff like that, just to, you know, let the buyer know. And there was a ton of these. There's over 850 of them, and I ended up getting, as you see, that's the inflated price, $81 for them. So we're really happy about that. Kim picked up these UGG boots, really nice, old, not old, but used, pre-owned. They're in really good condition. Sold those for $72.99 with ultimately $82.77 shipped. I got this with a ton of miniature stuff like this. they're just like little model kits for, not kits, but like little things for like a, oh, what do they call them? You can make like a battle scene, make your own thing. And I've got a ton of miniature army men and just all kinds of stuff. So I picked out these two brands, the Rocco and the Auroras, and I put them together in a lot, and they sold like within 24 hours. So, and I put they're good for their battle damage. These parts appear to have been set up as destroyed, damaged items in a battlefield for a scene. And that's what a lot of these folks do. I can't remember what it's actually called that they do, but it's sold this old slot car track with some cars. I got it for like $10, I think. I mean, it was really, really cheap. And I ended up getting $127.75. Okay, we're almost done here, folks. And here's another set of those bombers, different size. But yeah, the salt water, I think, really does help. And here's another one of those games like I was showing you earlier, the Mall Madness. I mean, guys, this stuff is just cool stuff from the 80s and the 90s, that it just brings back old memories for people. And as you see, once again, I took the pieces. And guys, this doesn't take long. People are like, man, why do you put so much time into this stuff? It takes a matter of a couple minutes to seal all this stuff up, guys. And it just gives it a really good appearance, okay? It makes it look like it was taken care of. That there was effort put into this item, whether it be to preserve it, to store it, or whatever, to sell it. It's just that effort was put into it. So yeah, Mall Madness, I mean, these quirky 80s and 90s games that's got some electronics to it do really well. I come across these iRobots all the time, guys. All the time down here. It's crazy. I've sold 2 of them just to Michael Pierce alone. But yeah, this was excellent. I plugged it in, charged it up. I mean, let's see here. Just to show you, this thing was like brand new. I mean, literally no wear whatsoever. I plugged it in, charged it up to its full charge, and I put it on my floor. I boxed it in like a 2-foot area, and it would just keep hitting and going in circles, and it didn't last but like 5 minutes. So that was a problem. So what do? I go on eBay. I ordered a battery, and then I advertised it with a brand new battery. So yeah, I mean, it was $19 for the battery, and I had 15 into this, I believe. Pretty sure it was somebody was having a sale out of their storage unit. Different one than the speakers, but yeah, they were having a sale out of their storage unit, and it was sitting there. Got this with a bunch of the Thomas the Train wooden tracks and stuff, but this had enough value on its own that I decided to just sell it by itself, and it sold like within a day for $20. And I paid $2 for all the tracks plus all the wooden tracks, and I have the tracks listed. So Harry Potter, just a trivia game, and don't know much about it, but it sold, and it was new. Here's some more UGG stuff that Kim found for a couple bucks at the thrift store, and we ended up selling these for $36. So yeah, I mean, UGG are really good. People like them, and we sell these really fast when we price them right. The vintage electronics, Marantz. This is just a timer. Don't know why people use them anymore. It's literally like an alarm clock. I mean, if you think about it, it'll shut your stuff off when, it's a timer. That's all it is for your like stereo system. But yeah, they sell for really good money, and Marantz is a high-end name. Another teak. As you guys can see, like I said, I take my pictures of this stuff running full steam, and you just, when you're honest with your listings, then you sell them. It brings good money. Had this for quite a while. This thing isn't even an inch tall. I mean, this thing is like this big. I mean, it's very small, but it's a rare item. It's from 1909, and it's a Masonic pin that is broken on the back. I mean, it doesn't have the actual pin on it. So, but yeah, finally sold it. I've had this for quite a while. Logan bought this game. He played it one time, and he says, this thing is the stupidest thing I've ever played. So he says, will you list this for me? I'm like, yeah, but you're not going to get near what you have out of it. So we ended up selling it for like 30 bucks. So, but yeah, I mean, this is just one of those things that instead of, throwing it in a pile, just list it, get as much back out of it as you can, and move on. These old hard drives that we've got, I mean, this thing is old school. I mean, I think it's a very, very small hard drive, like 1 gigabyte or something like that. It's small, but I don't know why it was done during an upgrade, the military upgrade. Don't know why people want them. Don't know. Don't care. Here's the Gimme Buck that I ended up selling for $200 shipped. Yeah, 150. I'm sorry, 190 shipped, 150, and then $40 shipping. It's going to the UK. This thing worked perfect for me, and then the more I played with it, the slower it got. So I ended up selling it 4 parts with issues. And if it would have stayed to work the way it worked, I'd have gotten 300 easy for it. So, but I was happy with this. I made a connection in the UK. This guy wants all kinds of stuff, so I'm excited to start working with him. Little cheap thing, but you guys know this is the type of stuff I think is so cool that takes me back to my teenage years. All it is just a radio, the Sony Walkman radio, and I pick this stuff up all the time for 50 cents to $1, and this sold for 20 bucks shipped. So really happy about it. Here's that ugly ass miniature taxidermy. Yeah, I took $50 on it, so I ended up getting $62 shipped. Kim got it for $3. It's a taxidermy. It's a zebu cow. I mean, it's quality taxidermy work, but we just don't quite understand it. So, but apparently somebody knows what it is, and they bought it. This is another example of being honest with your listing. I mean, somebody could look at this like, oh, the Britain's motorcycle. Bam, buy it. But you know something? It's got damage. If you see the handlebar is missing. Look at this guy's face. There's just, don't oversell your stuff. We got the broken handlebar, missing sidecar gun. Not even sure if these men actually go to this vehicle. I mean, it's really important to be straight up with your listings. No, I mean, if this was in perfect, everything's working, I mean, we're talking $30 to $40 pretty easy. So, I mean, there's a big difference in what I'm selling and, what others are selling and what the buyer's expectation is. It's really, really important, guys. This is super cool. You just don't find this stuff in this condition. This is an original 1964 teeny bopper girls Beatles like wallet coin purse, and this was literally unused. I mean, you can't hardly find these things without the teeth on this comb broken, or even part of the comb in it. Okay. Um, the the photo insert, that's actually the mirror, and it looks kind of rough, but I'll show you a picture. These are the photo inserts that go inside, that was inside it. It's Cary Grant, some other lady. But as you can see here, like the mirror, I mean, you can actually see your reflection. This stuff was cheaply made back then, guys. And that's the coin slot where you put your coins. The purse, the zipper coin holder. And just to find these guys with the combs and stuff is really, really rare. And it was just, it's such an awesome piece to see in this condition. So excited to have that. And the good old Sony Walkman. Guys, make sure if you want to hear some horror stories about buying these for resale, talk to Biopicker, Adam Hazard. He will come to eBay and buy these up, the Sony Walkman disc players and stuff like that, buy them up and resell them. And you would not believe how many he gets that are just don't work. And it's really crazy. Make sure you test your stuff, guys. I have a pile of these that you get for 50 cents to $1, and you get it home, put batteries in it, and it just doesn't work right. Whether the earphones, it's not putting a signal through all the way, or the laser doesn't work, or it just doesn't even turn on, period. It's just important to check this stuff. I rocked out to some Debbie Gibson on this particular test. So, yeah. Okay, guys, that's it. I want to thank you for coming. I know we went about a minute, an hour and 20 minutes, but you know something? I think there's something to be gained from it. We're showing you actual things that sold. You can go and look this stuff up. And I think this is the best way I can help and show people that. Because trust me, there's nothing to brag about, guys. I'm not bragging when I'm showing you this stuff. I mean, you know, to a Sony Walkman for $20, that's not bragging. It's bread and butter stuff. I took an hour and 20 minutes to take the time to do this. It's not a matter of, you know, it's sharing. It's doing what, you know, I was helped. You know, I'm helped every day. And that's just what it's about. So don't forget to check in later if you made it all the way to the end of this. You know something? I'll do something for you. I have no clue what these things are worth. But I have no clue. But what I will do, if you make it to the end of this, put in the chat, I don't know what they are. It was like 50 cents for the whole stack of them. They go to the VTech, but we got the Mermaid, Alphabet, Spider-Man, With the Kids, Zazu, Lion King, SpongeBob, Dora, Soccer Champion, Winnie the Pooh, and some type of learning thing. If you make it to the end of this video, guys, let's see, what can we have you guys put in there to where everybody won't catch on that only watches the first 5 minutes? I tell you what, put your age, just a comment. You know, if you want to comment, you know, feel free to comment, but just in a separate comment, just put your age in there. And so it'll be a number. And if people not seeing, they will have no clue what that means. Put your age in there, and then I'll put when I see that, I'll put your name in a basket and draw for these. I have no idea what they're worth. Haven't even begun to look them up, and I'm not going to look them up. As a matter of fact, what I'll do is I will also throw in these that I got also in the same lot. These are, I guess, Little Leapster things. I have no idea, but there's a animal. I am old. It's a Diego. I guess that's from Dora. We've got Number Raiders. We've got Finding Nemo. We've got the Cars. And we've got SpongeBob Saves the Day. So I'll put these also in with all these others. And I think that's this. These are Leapster. Okay, and the other are VTech. I'll put those in also. And, you know, put your age in the title. And, I mean, in a comment. And I'll go through next week. And, you know, gather up those people who actually made it to the end of this thing. If anybody does. And, you know, I'll send these to you. After if I draw your name out. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out later on today. If you haven't checked, if this is later in the week or next year or whatever, it would be my next video where I'm going to be talking about the realities of selling on eBay. Thanks guys once again, and we shall catch up soon.